I wanted to do was start a subcommittee on homelessness page on Facebook, something totally separate. So all that information, we can keep that separate from Skid Row Neighborhood Council. And we have to start that page, and then share all that information, what you heard at the meeting, what you think, what you thought, and then we can integrate that in our report. Because regardless of irrespective of the city putting out a report and the county putting out a report, we're going to put out our own report. And that's why we get this videotape, we're taking pictures. That's why each and everything that everyone is saying here is being documented. It's going to be incorporated into our report, the Skid Row Community's report, and we're going to share that with the rest of the world. Thank you.
It's been reported since 2011, the incarceration rate for people with mental illness has gone up 89%, and most of those incarcerations have been for misdemeanors. And so that's a huge emphasis to draw upon in regards to just how the community is therefore policed, how the community members are therefore penalized and criminalized for being homeless, for being poor, for being black, and for being mentally ill.
Thank you. Decentralization. Okay, I read a downtown newspaper, I read a lot. I read a downtown newspaper, they said they have to speak to the other communities. Are you ready to develop a homeless center, shelters up in your spot? Wow, here goes some complexities here. So this is what we're talking about now. Are we Skid Row, or are we going to be splashed across the city? Either way, all anybody cares about, for the most part, having somewhere to live. How about that? Now, with the Central City asking the others, are you ready to accept homeless centers and help us with our mental health, blah, blah, and blah, blah. All these different cities that he named has been told this, have been asked to consider and fall in the plan for this decentralization plan. Long process, grueling, complex. Who wants, if these communities are thinking, man, I heard about what happens downtown, this, ooh, Lord, yeah, I heard about it, goodness gracious. You think so, Margot? And Margot says in the city council, my baby. So now this grueling process takes time, but unaddressed. It will not be considered. So when he said decentralizing, that just means to get everybody a pad. It don't have to be a person's going to say, look, you want to stay downtown and be homeless, or you want you a pad? What you think they're going to say? So, good plan. Good plan. Love it. Give people somewhere to live. But remember that Skid Row must be considered before implementing commercial projects of housing. Into our community. Thank you very much.
Go ahead. Ram's on the road, baby. I'm going to take me down the truck.
I heard emergency, and I heard El Nino, and I see a lot of passion from a lot of people here. I just wonder if it could be a good way to start representation. I don't know, I'm willing, because I heard you, and something needs to be done. And who knows better than the community members? And I think we need to put, our hands in action. That's my thought. And this is a great opportunity to, see each other and see, who's willing to start doing something, because I see this is a real state of emergency.
Thank you, Sylvia. And, piggybacking off of that, and I'll get you in a moment, maybe. When we talk about, where's the sense of urgency, in Skid Row, we've had that. Our pace is faster than the rest of the city. When I first got here in 2006, the pace was slow at City Hall. It was excruciating slow. And so now that we've actually picked up the pace in Skid Row, we've actually put, with OG going hard, and me, and Tom, and Catherine now, and Suzette nowadays, and LA Cans doing what the tremendous work that they're doing, LA Poverty Department. We've got a lot of separate voices that are speaking out loud around a whole lot of different places. And so now you got DWAC and some other places that are really stepping up as well, new leadership. And so we got the women being, voices being added to the conversation unlike before. And so there is a sense of urgency coming from us. And so that's why it's important for us to have this meeting. It's important for us to get, this well documented in front of the reports that they're going to release. So in hopes that they will add our voice to the conversation. But let me tell you this, I'll get you one to it. So I had another email from the county board of County of Los Angeles. And so, again, what it was, I contacted them about after we have this meeting, I wanted to put a report together and then actually give that report, have it agendized at our next IAB meeting, which was going to be December 30th. And it's scheduled for December 30th, and once we finish it there, then we can push it and move it on up further up the ladder, and it's officially in the records as far as the Skid Row residents, our voice being added to the conversation. And then suddenly this email came out. Dear members, this email is to notify you that due to the upcoming holidays and the unavailability of presenters requested by IAB members, the co-chairs canceled the regular meeting of the IAB scheduled for Wednesday, December 30th. Cancellation notice is attached. And they said the next meeting will be at the end of January, basically the day before the homeless count happens. And so that was very interesting because we have been letting them know our moves in advance. And so now they're actually countering our moves by delaying the process in order for us to officially be a part of the process and do things the right way. And so that does not stop us in Skid Row. What that does for us is that we go the other way. And so, we're going to have more meetings, obviously, and at the other meetings, we can play it by the book, or we can go the other route and be creative. But we're going to get on the books. Sylvia.
Yes, I want to just go back to what I was saying earlier. I think we don't need to create some entity or something that's established with whoever is here is willing to do and get a connection with the fire department, shelters, whoever is available, so we can, support the situation.
Thank you. Mr. Finney.
Yeah, I want to make sure that this gets on the record. Until the very end.
Excellent.
Okay, I am extremely concerned with the continuing proliferation of used syringes in the streets of Skid Row. Operation Healthy Streets began in 2012 as a multi-million-dollar deep cleaning initiative by the city of Los Angeles after the LA County Health Department cited them for their unsanitary conditions here. Yet, the same conditions persist today with regards to used needles. Anecdotally, I have heard many locals say the problem has gotten worse lately, and I would agree. As proof of the continuing problem, pictures of dozens of used needles found during the most recent Operation Healthy Streets cleaning have been shared on social media by the Los Angeles Police Department. Where are all these needles coming from? Who is supplying them? This is a public health matter. The Center for Harm Reduction, located on 4th Street near Crocker, is the only organization permanently situated in Skid Row that passes out needles. Although it is referred to as a needle exchange, their own website, thank you, Tom, states that 800,000 needles are distributed, but only 500,000 used syringes are returned. I would like your new subcommittee, sir, to focus on this issue. Where are the many thousands of needles that are not being returned and ending up on the streets of Skid Row, continuing to burden an already overburdened, traumatized, and marginalized community? Not done yet.
30 seconds.
I would like to know what the Center for Harm Reduction in Skid Row can do to assist the collection of used needles in our streets, bathrooms, and parks. I would like to know what the LA County Health Department can do to assist in this matter. The Center for Harm Reduction in Skid Row lists the LA Department of Public Health as a financial supporter. The Skid Row community continues to be harmed by these decisions. Operation Healthy Streets was initiated based on many years of advocacy by us residents of Skid Row. As it stands, a large chunk of money being allocated to deep clean our streets is instead being used to pick up used needles on our streets that the LA Department of Public Health is encouraging to be passed out with zero regard for where they end up. Thank you.
That's so powerful. I want to ask if we can get a copy of that, of what you said, because we've got to dig deeper in. Oh, right on the spot. That's the timer. Thank you, sir. And, you know, that is a serious topic when we talk about healing Skid Row. A lot of fingers get pointed at us to be, you know, historically they're just drunks, bums, and addicts. And so when you talk about addicts and addiction, it's eye-opening and earth-shattering and jaw-dropping to hear those numbers when these folks willingly put this type of information on their website to say that they pass out 800,000 needles. Not 8,000, but 800,000. And then they proudly claim that of those 800,000 that they pass out, only 500,000 come back. It's like, okay, anybody can do simple math. That means there are 300,000 needles unaccounted for. That's totally unacceptable. There is no other community on this planet that would accept something like that. I'm outraged to hear those numbers. And so we will definitely be coming back to you guys real soon with some type of action connected to that. So great work, Tom and Catherine. Susan.
I actually had a tour of this needle exchange center a few weeks ago, and actually just yesterday sent an email to one of the people there, because we had spoke about working closely together this coming year, and actually maybe me even doing a support group there. But they are interested in getting more involved. So anyway, so I do have a contact there.
Involved in what way?
Well, they want to connect more with the community. They're not really connected with the community, other than what they do in their building. So that was one.
While that sounds good, you know, it's kind of difficult to understand what they're talking about as far as why, you know, they want to get involved. That's just a vague statement. You know, we have to start asking specifics in the future, like specifically in what way. I'm just saying. Thank you.
I just want to add that I've been going to some of these meetings, the Homeless Committee and Skid Row Housing Trust, and there needs to be more representation from Skid Row, more African American representation, because it is mostly a bunch of white men, males in the city council. There's like one woman. You know, the Homeless Committee, how come there is no Skid Row representative on that committee? You know, so I think going forward, there is a Skid Row Community Council, and we're moving forward, and I think, you know, it's imperative in 2016, not just 2017, but right now, we have a formation of the Skid Row Community Council, and it's going forward.
Just to clarify one thing, the city council, all their committees are only involving city council members. So there's no public members that can be allowed on those committees. It's unlike the Skid Row Neighborhood Council, where we can have board members and the public involved in our committees. Michelle.
Catherine, I recognize again. I just like to applaud everyone. Well, they're gone now, but everyone for coming out again. Everyone showed up, and I think what 3 years, Jeff took me to the first Beeline meeting, and get involved. And I just want to say, it's the largest recovery area anywhere. We have a lot before us, but I'm so glad that we're here taking the initiative. And just for the record, I wanted to mention for future, because I'm a woman and living under post-Proposition 47, I'd like to address the issues of the sex slaves and the sex trafficking. As a little woman, I'm feeling a lot more, really concerned about my work and other women and small just a lot more aggressive, you know, kind of a harassment, stalking right now. And also illegal entries. I've been speaking to a lot of people that think they're isolated and having had their rooms illegally entered, germ warfare. It's very strange on Main Street. I live on 5th and Spring right now. Some people have had, I had my computer crash and my keyboard, my DVD player. I don't know if it's counterintelligence or if it's the managers doing this because they want to raise them into market rate because they can do that now. They can get a weak Section 8 affordable housing. So that was just for the record, a few issues that I'd like to address in the future. Looking forward again to be on the formation committee. Skid Row Neighborhood Council. Let's give an applaud. People are gone, but I'm so glad that we're trying to govern ourselves.
A lot of important points that the community is feeling that needs to go on record, especially in regards to unresolved issues. I see everybody's like getting ready to go. They turn on the lights, ready, the windows, ready to go, ready. We get till 9:30. It's just 9:30. We got 30. Anyway, technically 10, but I just was trying to let everybody know we got 30 minutes. But you know, we'll honor Brother Wendell's bedtime, private time. We really appreciate him being patient with us. So, you know, technically, you know, we've got this agenda in regards to the Los Angeles County Subcommittee on Homelessness. And so, just for the record, we want to speak to that. And so, no one from the county showed up 3 days before Christmas. Not surprised. Again, we read a series of emails. They canceled next week's meeting. I believe it's a little more than a week, 8 days, December 30th. And so, what we did on this agenda, we actually laid out suggestive topics that we wanted to report back on. And so it was difficult for us to actually get a hold of the people that we need to get hold of. And so just quickly, some of the strategies, some of the agenda items were, we wanted to confirm the status of the Skid Row containment zone policy, which we know has been existent since the mid-70s. What is the current status of that? And that is something that we would like to know as a committee, as a subcommittee on homelessness. And we also want to know if there what was LA County's role in the creation of said containment policy, because we've done the research and we know they were involved. So this is on the LA County side. Also, we want to confirm the ability of the LA County Board of Supervisors to declare a state of emergency type status. While we just discussed earlier when Suzette Shaw mentioned the city trying to declare a state of emergency, and then it wound up being an emergency shelter crisis. And so, what can the county do? What can they declare? You know, then we're going to get from there. We're going to get to 4 levels of government. Then we're going to go to the state. What can you declare? We're going to get to the federal government. What can you declare? Because whatever you can declare needs to be declared, because this is what we know to be a state of emergency on homelessness. Also, too, we wanted them to create a master list of any and all available county-owned properties, both commercial and residential, which could be utilized in some capacity to address homelessness countywide, including but not limited to residential, restroom facilities, and property storage purposes. Another agenda item was we wanted them to confirm LA County specific roles and duties in the city-county collaborative effort of LAHSA, the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority, because there are a lot of people in Skid Row that are disappointed with what they've been able to or unable to do in regard to addressing homelessness, more so than a homeless camp. And determine best practices and or possible options of possibly dissolving a partnership in order to possibly create a new and a separate county-led effort. I don't know, maybe the city-county partnership is not working. You know, they're trying to collaborate, but if the collaboration is not effective and homelessness is still in existence, and as a matter of fact, it's increasing and continuing to increase, what exactly is the purpose of LAHSA? Because they call themselves in their name the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority. And then I just recently, a couple of months ago, Peter Lynn was the executive director of he presented before the City Council's Homelessness and Poverty Committee, and they had Councilmember Mike Bottom asked him after his presentation. So basically, based on what you're saying, LAHSA doesn't have any authority at all. He said, we have no power. That's what Peter Lynn, quote unquote, what Peter Lynn, the executive director of LASA, said to the City Council Homelessness and Poverty Committee. We have no power. Why do we even have authority in their name? What do they have the authority to do? That's, it's smoke and mirrors. It's time that we hold these people accountable. And so we got to knock out the fluff, and let's get the written solutions on the table, get the real entities, cut out the overlap, cut the fat away from the meat, and let's really address homelessness. And then the last item that we had on our agenda was to determine how many housing units would be needed to build from the ground up in order to properly house the reported over 44,000 homeless persons living within all of LA County, as stated in LASA's 2015 homeless count. And also, what, if any, are LA County's maximum number of homeless housing units that can exist in a single residential building, and also determine the amount of time it would take to construct said properties. And so we've got those on the books, and we want to open it up at this late hour, Wendell's looking at his clock. Is there any other topics that we want to put on that are only county-related issues, not City of Los Angeles, but for